443, channel 4 George, for box 3401, second alarm. House fire, wind cloud court and Windsong Drive. Units are on the scene. Active fire, 1324. Medic 402, Medic 408, channel 4 George.
My name is Mike Moeller. I'm president of Fairfax County Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, Local 2068. I'm here today to talk about our fire department's dire need to improve safe staffing levels. During the first 5 minutes of any structure fire, there are many critical decisions that need to be made and necessary tasks to be accomplished. FEMA has identified no other jurisdiction in the United States except Fairfax County that protect over 1 million citizens that staff their truck companies with less than 4 members. 11 years ago, based upon National Fire Protection Association's staffing standards, we brought a department-sanctioned needs analysis to you that justifies this increased staffing. This video will clearly illustrate our needs for safe staffing directly from the drivers of Fairfax County's ladder trucks, the officers in charge of those ladder trucks, and the command officers in charge of structure fires 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, we're on level 2 of the interior quadrant A. We're going to be attacking the fire from there. Active backup line advance to our location, and we're going to send them up to level 3.
During this presentation, you might hear different terms. Primarily, it evolves around the terminology truck company. Truck company will include trucks, towers, ladders, and aerials.
Windsong Command to Fairfax. Want to withdraw from the structure. Have all units withdraw from the structure. Engine 34, acknowledge that.
The truck companies currently today have only 3 people assigned to them. We need 4.
During the initial moments when the truck company arrives on the scene, then we have several responsibilities. We need to, first and foremost, get in and perform search. The driver from the truck company, he has another laundry list of stuff that needs to happen very quickly. He needs to get ladders in place in case we find anybody. He needs to get ladders in place in case any of our own get in trouble. And also then needs to start thinking about the second wave of tools that we're going to call for from the interior to be used on sort of our second round of operations.
Your first 10 or 15 minutes on the scene, you're running around like a madman trying to get everything done, because if you don't, somebody's life could be in danger. If there was a flashover or they need to bail out of the house on the second floor.
And while the driver is trying to get all this stuff done, I'm inside trying to search and find any victims and achieve that all-important benchmark of a primary search clear.
Right now we're unable to multitask as rapidly or safely because I'm leaving one person by him or herself.
Everything has to happen simultaneously, and it's really difficult with 3 on the ladder truck to try and accomplish those tasks.
If I can get to the roof and open it up vertically, then that is the preferred method to help minimize the property loss, to help minimize the loss of life, and to make operations safer for the crews that have to operate in that structure.
About a month ago, there was a single-family dwelling fire, and the driver of the truck company ended up on the roof by himself. And you know, by our own department standards, a crew is 2. He was on the roof by himself in a bad situation trying to accomplish vertical ventilation because we don't have a 4th.
And if I'm inside with my other crew member and the other driver is outside doing work, then he's operating by himself. And so that I always have to be worried about where he is, what he's doing, and some accountability for him, because he has no, or she has no backup out there.
Just as we have seen in each fire in Franconia in the last few weeks, is they have to get the tower ladder put up, and that's usually done by themselves. If the driver's placing and setting the ladder truck up for master streams for these large, fast-spreading fires that collapse quickly, he's not putting up the ground ladders, he's not ventilating the building, so then we have personnel inside in high heat conditions, heavy smoke conditions, versus what we're trained to do is ventilate the building and access the fire rapidly.
Ladders are heavy and awkward. I believe the 35 weighs 143 pounds and the 28 weighs 122 pounds. And that's a lot of weight just on one shoulder.
And it'd be extremely difficult for one person to raise a ladder by himself or herself.
To throw a 35-foot ground ladder by yourself is tenuous at best. It's not safe for the driver, and it's not safe for really anyone standing nearby.
With construction today and the housing, trying to fit all the houses on the lots, many as they can, we have what we call cluster homes. And trying to flat raise a ladder with cluster homes, you can't do it, so you need to do a beam raise. And trying to control a beam raise ladder with one person and keep it in place, and you need a fourth person just to anchor the ladder while the other person raises it up.
This normally in regular training is done with two people. Almost all of our ladders, national safe standards, indicate that two people should handle these ladders. However, when we do it on the emergency scene, then the driver is forced to do this by themselves. And some of these ladders are in excess of 120, 130 pounds, where this person has to negotiate the ladder around the structure and get it in the correct place and use it to ventilate a second or third floor window, and do this all by themselves. And all other times when we practice this or when we set this up to be done, it's to be done with two people, not one.
The underlying element is the time factor. You have to get this stuff up right away.
"30-some years ago, you had a wood bed burning, a chair, some cotton drapes. Today, that's all been replaced by your big box store synthetics, plastics. And essentially, a plastic it's a solidified gasoline. It's a flammable liquid that's been solidified. When it burns, extremely hot, fires spread 2-3 times faster than they ever have because of that fuel type load. Within minutes of arrival, if the fire's not out, and we have seen it on video after video, the buildings fall down. They start to collapse. Very rapid collapse of the buildings today.
Where now they just light off. It's such lightweight construction that you need to get the ladders and do your job faster.
Fire advances more rapidly, and that further puts pressure on what a truck driver has to do, because if a crew is inside operating and you're unable to throw a ladder, perhaps you've thrown it to the rear and they're in the front side of the building and a collapse occurs, then they're trapped.
We've gone from probably your 2,000 to no more than 3,000 square foot decades ago to homes where we have 6,000 and pretty close to 12,000 single-family dwelling square footage. On that day in June, we had members trapped on the upper floors, and their primary means of egress, which was interior stairs, was impassable.
Command, okay.
Fairfax to Windsong, command.
As a unit officer, 4 on the truck would enable me to increase safety on the fire ground, to increase the speed, and to multitask.
For the engine crew, it would make a better chance of finding the seat of the fire because we could ventilate faster.
And also it gives me the best chance of being able to save a life.
I think really the difference between 3 on a truck and 4 on a truck, it boils down to 2 things. It's firefighter safety and also, victim safety. It's life dependent.
That was truck 403, engine 402, has a ladder to it.
Thank you for taking the time to view this video, and we look forward to discussing any concerns you have regarding this issue.